Forbidden Door hand hook car door. On this week's episode of Horror Hole, I'm Wyatt, and who is here with me today, as always?
What did I do last summer? I got a bad suntan that fried. Sunburn, whatever. It was painful. Off to a great start.
Yeah. that's a good. It's good. But anyway, we're here to talk about I Know What You Did Last Summer. This is an episode that we have delayed. Nobody knows this as far as they're listening to it, but it took us like a month to watch this fucking movie. So, because of just things kept on coming up, and something almost came up today that made it delayed again, and that I was like, no, I'm gonna force this into existence.
Yeah, no.
So
I've
which is
sick.
on me. I'm not blaming Cody. Yeah, Cody's sick or been busy or whatever.
Yeah, I caught. Okay, so I just want to go on a quick tangent. So, so I work at a hotel, and recently we had like a big group of Italian soccer players staying there, and one of them got sick.
That's cool.
And it spread through the entire front desk staff. And
a super spreader event.
it's like it was like not the worst I've ever been sick, but it was like the most annoying because like it was like a week of like a fever and all the symptoms with that. Then the fever kind of went away, but I was still had a cough and had zero appetite for a week after that. So yeah, it was really fucking horrible.
Yeah.
But I'm finally feeling better.
Yeah, that's great. And then and then I won't talk about anything that happened today with me, but nobody needs to know this. But yeah, we're here. We're talking about this movie. Been a while. It's a 90s classic movie.
Yeah, classic. I would put in quotes.
Yes.
Well, let's just first impressions. Like, what did you think of this movie? And then we'll go through like our history with it, I guess.
So, how should I say this? I did enjoy watching the movie. Like, I thought it was a very good or very entertaining movie. It's definitely one of the weaker movies we've talked about as far as like my overall enjoyment.
Absolutely.
That we like through Horror Hole. And there's some aspects that we'll talk about, but I kind of also do enjoy the campy 90s stuff in it. So it like things that I was like, what is this? Towards the end of the movie did make me be like, okay, I kind of respect that. So I guess that's the best way I can say it, where it's like I enjoyed it. It's kind of maybe in the same category as something like It Follows, where it's like maybe not the most like profound or life-changing horror movie, but it was just like, and it was very entertaining, and I can kind of understand why it was so popular, because it seems like a nice nice popcorn flick, and a nice like throwback, like 80s style throwback in the 90s, which we'll talk about.
Well, It Follows eats this movie up for lunch. Let me say that.
Yeah. I'm not saying it was. I more mean that like some movies that we've talked about, we've had like these very deep conversations.
Oh yeah,
I guess we did with It Follows. We talked a little bit about like what the inevitability of like adulthood and death and things like that. There was some of that stuff here. I can't really see us talking about that with
there's some fun history and trivia with this movie, and it does have like an interesting kind of place in the genre. This is actually one of the very first horror movies I have any memory of watching.
Cool.
I remember I was like probably 5 or so, and my older sister was babysitting for me, and they were airing this on the Sci-Fi Channel. It's heavily edited. I mean, I guess not really too heavily edited. There's hardly any violence in this movie, really.
Yeah.
But I remember being so scared I did not want to get off the couch at this movie.
You're like, the hook man is gonna get me.
And I'm positive that I watched Scary Movie more times than I have watched this movie, because the Scary Movie version parody of this movie I have like it kept popping up like when I was watching this because I was like, oh
Yeah.
my god, I remember that like when they hit the person, we'll get into it, but like in Scary Movie,
Mm.
they find the boot and they go, oh my god, we hit a boot.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
good.
Um,
Man, I haven't seen Scary Movie in so long. So
a lot of the comedy
that's
didn't
like,
age well, but it's a lot.
I
A
bet.
lot of it is still pretty good though.
Yeah.
Um,
That's true with a lot of. That's a lot of comedy in general. Like obviously, comedy ages
mhm.
pretty much the worst out of any genre of film.
Yeah.
But there's always going to be some things where you're like, yeah, this is still good.
Mm. So
Um,
bizarrely, this movie is based off of a book, which I would be interested to read, and it's not
yeah.
like kind of an adaptation in name only. Like in the book, like it's Ray and Julie and Barry and Helen. It's a slasher whodunit
Mm,
book from like I don't know maybe
yeah.
the 80s. Um,
Mm, mm,
let's see any other. I'll tell you what scene it is when we get to it, but
sure.
the small town that they were filming this in, I guess in North Carolina probably, they held a contest where the winner would get to come in
Hold on,
and
I'm not
direct
hearing you.
a scene of the movie. And the winner was like an 11 or 12-year-old kid or something. And
Hello, can you hear me?
oh, hello?
Hello.
I don't know what just happened. Great.
Yeah, some weird some weird shit
Yeah.
just happened right
Okay.
there.
I
I'm
I
gonna have to. Great. Now I have to make a note to
I
edit
remember
this
where I
out.
left
Of
off
the
at least.
Yeah, you were talking about. You just said there was a scene that we were going to get to
Yeah.
that you're going to explain
Mhm.
something.
So um, at the small town where they were filming this movie, in North Carolina or wherever, they held a contest
Mm.
where the winner would get to come in and direct a scene of the movie. And
Yeah.
the winner was like an 11 or 12-year-old kid who got to direct a scene in this movie.
Yeah.
Hmm. Um,
I'm thinking. I'm like, wonder what. I am genuinely like, what scene
mhm.
could that have been? But I guess
I'll,
we'll
I'll let
see
you know.
when we get to that point where, because I think that this is just the kind of movie where we kind of need to talk about it like beat by
Yeah.
beat, because otherwise we can't talk about it broadly or thematically like we did with like Manhunter or Nope or anything like that.
There's
So
like the vaguest of theme that I kind of do appreciate in this. Yeah, so I
yeah, I mean in general the book, like I'm sure the book was this way, and the movie itself it's like very much based on like the telltale heart, like that kind of thing, the like guilt eroding you from the inside and like turning you into somebody that's like paranoid and always looking over their shoulder and like just destroying you, which is there's some things about this movie that I found very confusing in that regard, but we will
no.
get to that, I assume.
Okay, so literally, this is another point I had to make. For years, I've been like, I've never really been like the biggest fan of this movie. I talked about, I watched it when I was little, but I was
Mm.
always like, What is the plot of that movie?" Like, because I don't remember like what the twist was at the end. I was like, I don't remember like who is the killer. What it's I remember some guy shows up at the end. Like, what happens in that movie? So
Yeah.
it's and it was like I was like, there's something shit with a boat name, and it's upon this rewatch, I was like, okay, I can finally understand what's actually happening in this movie. Great.
Yeah, yeah, and I have some thoughts about the climax of this movie that we'll get to, but either way, but yeah, I guess we should just start from the start.
Yeah. So, written by Kevin Williamson, writer for Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Scream, of course.
Oh,
Uh,
oh wow! So he went straight, like Sarah Michelle Gellar
mhm.
went straight from this to Buffy.
Yeah.
You know.
This movie does kind of feel a little bit like Dollar Store Scream in a lot of moments.
Yeah, yeah, that is exactly how I would describe this. It feels like I don't know. There's that sometimes happens when like there's like a popular movie or a trend of movies, and then there's a movie that comes out and is like popular because it's in that trend, but it's clearly like not quite as good as other movies that are in that like
All the
movement or
dinosaur
trend.
movies after Jurassic Park and shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they open up. It's a small fishing town, Southport. Yeah, Southport.
Mm-hmm.
We see a girl named Helen winning a beauty pageant for like the Croaker Queen, I think it was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's her, so it's Helen and Julie, played by Jennifer Love Hewitt. Uh,
Yep.
Mary, played by Ryan Felipe, and
Mm-hmm.
Ray, played by Freddie Prinze Jr. So it's one
Yep.
of those '90s movies where it's like everybody who is like either about to be at the peak or at the peak of like their fame. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very weird to see Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar in the same movie. Not just because Scooby Doo, but just in general. I know that I believe they're married,
I think so. Yeah.
and I think they are still married. And it's just weird to see they are not the couple in the movie. It's Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt that are
Ray and
like the
Julie.
main couple. So, mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah. So they're all like it's their last summer of I don't know if they're juniors or about to be seniors or something, but it's their last summer as kids before college, basically. And that's kind of
Mm-hmm.
one of like the theme that I mentioned earlier is I like how it's all these kids have like plans for their future and they're like at the cusp of adulthood and then this thing happens and then we see a year later that their lives are like completely different from how they had expected or wanted it to be. I thought that was
Mm,
like
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. Yeah, that is like a good. I feel like this movie got off to a pretty strong start in some respects.
Oh yeah, the opening of this movie is
I
probably the most famous part of it for sure.
yeah, I would say like it's just a creative writing exercise to be like, then what happens after that? You know, like I feel like a short story would just be the beginning of this movie, and then sort of
Mhm.
just like leave you wondering, and then the expansion of that would be like, oh, what's the next two acts of the movie?
Yeah, so they're driving down this coastal road and they run somebody over. In the book, I believe it was a child.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah,
so they run the person over. This is like another scene that Scary Movie shot like completely perfectly. Um,
yeah. I definitely. I mean, not to give my opinion away, it would make a lot more sense if it was a child that they killed. You know, if it was actually like if they had done some grievous harm to somebody, uh, that wasn't just like okay. Basically, what I'm saying. I'm sorry. Spoilers for this movie. It's really stupid that the villain is just a guy that got hit by a car and is mad that he got hit by a car. Like that
yeah,
is really dumb in my opinion.
but
So
yeah, so they
because they lead you to believe something different throughout most of the movie. Obviously, it's like it's misdirection, it's red herrings. I understand narratively why they do that. I just think that the payoff at the end is very unsatisfying when it's like, oh, wait, so the guy who is trying to kill them is just the guy they hit. Like he doesn't have beef with them because oh they killed somebody that was close to him.
yeah
Uh
the villain's motive that you're led to believe is the motive for most of the movie is far more interesting than the actual motive.
Yeah, he's just an psycho. He's just an evil guy anyway.
Yeah,
He's not somebody that was twisted by cruelty and revenge or whatever by the events. Again, sorry, this actually did have to go out of order there because you said the much better thing, which would have been like, oh, like a child, his child, somebody related to him in some way, you
yeah,
know,
and
because.
there's this
Mm,
like middleman person where it's like, oh, he had just finished killing somebody else who killed somebody accidentally in an earlier car crash, and and
yeah.
and his body is the one that that the cops found instead of the body that we're led to believe it is. Yeah, it's a bit
Mm,
it's more
mm,
complicated than it needs to be. That's why this movie was
yeah.
confusing.
Yes, and that's what I'll say is like I know us talking about this kind of like ruins the whole build
It
up
doesn't matter. You've had
actually to
20
the
25 years to watch this movie.
sure. But I mean just in general like the structure of the podcast I was like maybe we should go through it in linear order cuz it's like a mystery that reveals itself but
We
dude,
can't keep
getting it out right
tight-lipped. Yeah.
here. Yeah, it was just like it just to me by the end of the movie. I mean, we'll get to the end when we get to the end, but like that alone was enough to make me be like, man, that is a serious wasted opportunity. I can think of like several of like every other red herring. This is the one thing you do not want in a whodunit mystery is that every single red herring is more interesting than
You're
the
right.
actual
You're totally right.
conclusion.
Mhm. But
But
yeah,
yes,
so
continue.
they hit um had his name. It's something Ellis is the last name. Ben Ellis or something like that. Ben Willis.
Hmm.
So they hit Ben and they all get into an argument. And I would say this is probably one of the better scenes in the movie. It's just a really well acted argument about like what they should do. Because all four
Yeah.
of them have different perspectives. Ray is like, hey, you guys kind of come from rich families. I don't. I can't afford the lawyer for this kind of thing. Um,
Hmm.
Barry really takes charge during the situation. Barry's like I really want to commend his actor. His actor is does a really good job because he's
Yeah.
like he's a short. He's not a tall guy at all, but he has like a really big
Yeah. Yeah.
like presence and physicality to the character that you
Hmm.
believe that it feels like he's towering over Freddie Prinze Jr., who is physically way taller than him.
Yeah. That is really impressive. And he plays like a really good like kind of like a drunken douchebag teenager character, like somebody that you don't want to empathize with because he's kind of a dick, but you do
You
because
understand his motive
of the like situation.
and all of the conclusions that he leaps to, even though they're wrong. You understand like why that would be the obvious thing for him to think.
Yeah.
Uh,
So.
yeah, so they this is kind of goofy. There's this other guy named Max. He kind of drives by and sees him, and they kind of like have to like hide the body and pretend like he's throwing up. And then they
Mm-hmm.
they take the body out to the fucking docks and dump him in the water. And he
Yeah.
like jump scares them twice.
Mm-hmm.
I that was a little bit over the top for me. It was pretty goofy.
Yeah. I feel like once that happened, I was like, I did think, yeah, that guy is like the person, like whether or not who it was still a mystery, but the idea of the guy they killed is back and he's the one, like he wasn't dead and he's the one that's attacking them because he had like this like fucking Jason Voorhees level or Michael Myers level of
Apparently,
like
yeah.
endurance
You want to hear the dumbest
of
shit
being able
ever?
to, yeah.
Ben Willis is also one of the two killers in the sequel.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
There's a sequel. I actually did not
there's
know.
two
Oh, I
sequels to
still know what
this.
you did last
Yeah.
summer, and I'll always know what you did last summer. Okay.
The third,
So he kind of becomes like he becomes like a new slasher villain for
yeah.
this generation.
So, oh my God. And then in the third one, it's a completely different story with a different, set of characters and everything, because Ray and Julie are in the second
Mm,
one. Um, in the
yeah.
third one, they also have their own whodunit, and the reveal is that the killer in the third one is zombie Bruce Willis, Ben Willis.
Yeah.
So he's a killer in all three of them.
Yeah, that's great.
Iconic slasher Ben Willis.
Yeah. I will say this it wasn't a problem early on, but it definitely became. I'll talk about some of the actors real quick, because we talked a little bit about Ryan Felipe. Freddie Prinze Jr., who I do like I think he's a good actor generally, but he was not very good like in a lot of the later parts of this movie.
Yeah,
Like it just like there's some scenes where it felt very convincing, but I think part of it was because they were really heavy-handedly trying to like lead you horse to water to believe that he was the killer, and so he like just had this sort of approach to acting that felt very like he's laying it on thick. But even after that, like in the after the climax, there's like a scene with him talking to Julie, and explaining his motivation and why he went to talk to the guy they thought they killed sister, uh, and I was just like, this is so corny. Like this seems fake. Like this seems like
yeah, you're
like I know
right.
it's a movie I'm watching right now, but I was just like, it seemed like I don't know.
No.
It just seemed like a clearly false ending. That was just like too sickly sweet to be true or whatever. But yeah, we'll get to that when we
There's
get to the end of the
this
movie.
movie's tone overall, like there are parts of it where I'm like, I really like that it's taking itself seriously for most of it. because I was
Hmm.
expecting this movie to be like as the Scream comparisons, I was expecting like constant like meta like
Yeah.
commentary and shit, which there really wasn't. Like it pops up maybe once or twice, but there really isn't much, and I appreciated that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are other parts
Yeah,
where it
yeah.
does
They,
feel
they,
like
they mentioned Silence of the Lambs
mhm.
once, which is like, yeah, there you go. That's the last movie we talked about was Manhunter. So,
I'm dripping water all over my notes because that's so.
oh.
Um, let's see. Yeah, so 1 year later, Julie goes to college. She seems like she's having a rough time uh,
Mm.
because they put like Vaseline in her hair to make to show to, so
Yeah.
she looks like she's depressed. Uh,
Hmm.
so she gets her first note, and it's reads, "I know what you did last summer." So she starts to like reunite with all of her old friends, which this was like an interesting scene that like getting the group of friends back together. The dynamic is now completely different.
Yeah. It actually kind of reminded me of Jacob's Ladder, if I may. In like the scene where towards the middle or like in the second act of the movie when he is like talking to his other war buddies and they're all like desperately trying to they all both believe that something is fucked up and also trying to convince themselves that something is totally fine, like that
Oh,
cognitive
when they
dissonance.
when they all got silenced by the government and they wouldn't like keep talking to him anymore.
Yeah, like yeah, that entire portion of the movie when they're like that. Obviously, it's a completely different context. It's a way better movie, but like
Right.
the I know, don't be surprised. But yeah, it was very similar to that in that like the people go knowing something but like really denying what they really know, and trying to like talk around it, is just like that is very compelling. And I do think that maybe Julie is like
Julie's
I think she is a good.
she's a hard nut to
Yeah,
crack
go
as a
ahead.
final girl for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say she is like a compelling enough character in that you do really relate to
I
her,
liked Helen
but
more.
she's like a lit. Yeah, I would say her. I would have preferred her because Julie seems too cut and dry of like morally correct. I think it's like a little bit more like I was thinking of like the hierarchy of like the characters and their like correct morality. Like and like okay, Barry is clearly like he's the fodder. Like they take a while to actually kill him, but that's kind of the position that he's in. And then I would say like Helen is somewhere in the middle where she does feel like immense guilt and is like fucked up by it, but is also like very self-serving and very like looking out for herself, which I feel like makes her a more compelling
Yeah, during
protagonist in a way because there's like it feels like a human flaw. It's not like Julie, who does some frankly psychotic things as far as like given how paranoid they should be about what they did in the situation that they're in, going to the sister's house of the person that you thought you murdered is like a little bit fucking crazy.
and then
So
going back twice.
yeah, going back and then also being like, yeah, we were the ones who killed him. That's what we did. Again, even if
And
that's not
nothing
true,
ever really
which is
comes of
like a
that.
yeah, that pissed me off actually.
'Cause I
It's like,
like
why did you even introduce this fucking character? And this whole set piece and everything. Like the last time we see her, she's just like, "Get off my property," and then, like, okay, I guess maybe she'll show up in one of the sequels. I don't know, but yeah,
oh, that's Anne Heche. That's who that was. Okay.
yeah, mm-hmm.
Yeah. Rest in peace. I
Yeah.
my the only other movie I've seen. Well, no, I've probably seen her in other things, but I just always think of her in that Psycho remake where she
Mm-hmm.
flashes her
Mm-hmm.
butthole.
Oh, great!
She's
This is some chocolate starfish
yeah.
in the.
During the shower scene, when she flops over. Yeah.
Oh wow! There you go.
Yeah. So let's see. They learn that in the news, they think that the guy they killed is somebody named David Egan who died of drowning, and we saw him in like the very beginning of the movie, like sitting on a cliff. and that was always another one of the things that confused me as a kid, like how it tied in. Again, I get it now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Max gets killed uh, because like Barry shows up and kind of like because they're that's their first suspect. Barry goes to find him
Yeah.
and he gets killed by the fisherman. When they filmed that scene, they did not use any blood at all, and like the production assistant, whoever, had to like tell the director like, hey, it would be medically impossible for there to not be any blood if this is happening. So they went and refilmed the
Yeah.
scene and put like a teeny tiny bit of blood
Yeah.
in it.
I feel yeah. I was gonna say this movie it is very weirdly bloodless. Is it R or is it?
I think it's
Because there is some like dead. Yeah, because there are dead. Like you do see like dead bodies and things like that, and like the guy that they hit is like really fucked up. Like he's like covered in blood. I assume maybe that's because he little kid just got done killing the guy. So that's why he's covered in blood, and not because he got hit and his like face was scraping across the ground. Um,
they still
you know,
hit him
because
pretty
apparently he was
fucking
like,
hard
I
based on
know,
the front of that guy's car.
but he's like adamantium
Yeah, but he
bones.
was perfectly fine, and he healed himself. He nursed himself back
Yeah,
to health
he
over a
got
year.
yeah he got his bones crunched by getting hit by a car. They dragged his corpse to the water, threw him in, and then he has like not only did his rib cage not get collapsed in by being hit by a car, but he also maintained his like
Lung capacity.
breathing ability. Yeah,
His lungs
so
weren't
he
punctured
was
by
able
his
to.
fucking ribs. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, luckiest guy alive, honestly, really.
Yeah, feels like we're being very mean to this movie.
It
I do
it's
like I
okay.
don't.
But
Yeah, I was
it's
gonna say I
stupid.
really don't hate it. It's an entertaining movie. I wouldn't give it the. Do I dare give it the dreaded mid moniker? I don't think so. I think it's like maybe slightly above that, but it is like a very sloppy movie and a lot. I feel like am I wrapping up right now? No, we're not even close to being done.
No, we're
But I'm
halfway through
just saying, I'm
the
just
plot
giving
line.
up. Yeah, I'm just saying, like in general, as we're talking about this, it's just like yeah, there's a lot of confusing or like weird choices that kind of strain credulity that I feel like other movies of this genre are able to induce a state of like unreality that you buy into.
I
So,
was except for one scene, I was never like not frightened. I was never like tense or anything. It's kind of
mm,
not really a good slasher movie. Like as a slasher,
mm,
it's more of like a whodunit mystery with like a slasher elements. Uh,
yeah, and there's a few jump scares here and there and like some tense moments, but I would say you compare this to Halloween, like the original Halloween,
it's not even the
which
context.
also has like a, yeah, I mean that movie's way better, but like the villain in that, the shape, is it feels like it is like a monster from the darkness. You know, it doesn't. It feels like you watch to believe that it's a human and that it can be reasoned with, but it can't. Like that's the scary thing. You know, similar to what we were talking about with like It Follows, where it's like,
Willis is
mm,
some guy.
yeah, that's what I'm getting to. Like he's just some fucking guy, and it's like to me, I can understand why Michael Myers, the shape, whatever you want to call him, could survive that because it's like he creates a pale over reality and makes it like turns it into unreality basically and makes it so that it's like whatever is the scariest or most yeah like he just survives because he needs you to scare you more and like you buy into that whereas like this is like I'm not really scared by the fisherman guy with a coat and everything. I would have been more emotionally engaged if it was like Missy or even if it was Ray, like they were, you know, trying to again, like they were red herring, like trying to imply that it was. Uh, like I would have been, you know,
And we
Like I said, it, like what it just sucks. Okay.
and it's baffling
Um
that he returns for sequels
that they were like, we're so proud of this villain, we gotta bring
because
him back. I will
I
say,
think I don't believe Ben is in the book. I think or he's like a combination of characters or something like that.
yeah. Yeah, so like that it might not have been a full on slasher type narrative.
No,
It
no,
might have been like just more of a mystery.
there's the killer and the slasher elements, but I
Okay.
think the identity of the killer might be like slightly changed in the book.
Hmm. Yeah, I would be interested to read it because I think like there's definitely good elements to the plot and everything. But I'll just say to sort of like wrap up that like my me talking about this uh is that there I remember, and I'm sorry for evoking the name of a nerdy writer, but I remember watching an interview or something or a discussion or fucking something with Brandon Sanderson, who is a fantasy writer, also Mormon. We can get into that later. We don't need to talk about that right now. But but he said, because he's very famous for these like wild twists that sort of recontextualize everything at the end of his books. But his fans tend to really like the twists because they end up creating like a new perspective, like, oh my god, it like kind of opens my mind to all these things that I missed previously throughout the book. And he described it as like when you want to do a twist that subverts like expectations, Last Jedi, if you want to subvert expectations, then like it's if a kid thinks he's going to get a Hot Wheels toy from his birthday present or his Christmas present and it's socks, he's going to be really disappointed. But if he thinks he's going to get a Hot Wheels toy, but he gets a Mario themed Hot Wheels toy instead, then he's going to be even more excited than he would be if he,
Okay.
had just gotten a Hot Wheels toy.
Hmm.
So like that, I think about that a lot when it comes to narratives with twists, in the idea that like there are some times where it's appropriate that the twist is just like fails to meet your expectations, and that's like the point of what it's doing. For example, The Last Jedi being like Rey is nobody. The twist is that you think that she is somebody of cosmic importance, but she's actually not. This pissed a bunch of people off. Obviously, I'm sure you were on the internet in
I remember,
2017
and
saw
then
this.
it pissed off people even more when Doctor Who did the same twist for the last
Uh
season.
huh. Mm-hmm. And then J.J. Abrams was like, "We must fix this by making her Palpatine's granddaughter." So great job, buddy. But that's the like that is an example of like a twist that's like it's like, oh, that sucks, but actually that's like narratively more fulfilling because it kind of gives her like more, she is kind of creates her own destiny. She's not bound by bloodlines or fate
Hmm.
or anything like that. She kind of like create her own story. When they reverse the twist and make it so it's actually no, never mind, you're related to the most powerful guy in the universe. It's like, well, that sucks.
It's
That's
even
not
worse,
as
yeah.
that like completely robs her of any agency. um so yeah, there are examples where that can work. But this just seems it's just like it's so like, I guess I'll say I was like, oh, like that's kind of interesting when they like did the twist, but then I started to see how it played out, and it left a lot to be desired. So
Well, let's
yeah, we can continue.
well, just to add on to what you were saying, talking about twists, let's compare a script from the same writer, Scream.
Hmm.
Again, I hate speaking publicly about these movies, but
Sure.
the reveal of who the two killers are in the first Scream it
Hmm.
enhances that entire movie because you can go back and rewatch it knowing that, and you can see like you can map out, oh, that has to be Billy in the costume this time, or oh, that has to be Stu, and
Hmm.
while Billy's doing this you can tell that Stu's over doing this other part of their plan, and you can see their entire
Yeah.
plan. Like it's a really great twist.
It's
Yeah.
logical. It like completely makes sense. In this, the only like attempt to make it make sense that they give, I do, you know what, I feel like we are just kind of jumping around with this, whatever, who cares.
Mhm.
uh but the only attempt to make it make sense is he's like, so you did your homework too, kind of implying that he like did his homework to find out like who all the people were that hit him, which is like that's it. I don't have no fucking clue
how
how
he did
he
that. No, he was awake and
did
he was
that.
conscious the whole time here. He picked up on details during their argument. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. And he was like, I memorized your license plate and whatever, and I tracked you down, and it's like it seems like these are just normal civilians. I don't know, other than Helen, who was like kind of a town, kind of famous in the town for being like the fucking prom queen or whatever. You know, none of the other, all the other people are just like fucking random people. So like, how the hell did he do research? At least from their angle, it was like a murder or a suicide or like something, like some kind of death that happened that was like connected to a different one, and there was like a trail of destruction in its wake.
yeah,
So
yeah, his plan, like why he doesn't kill Barry the first time he plows him through a fucking building and
yeah.
to threaten him. And he's standing over him, and then it fades to black like it's going to commercial, and then he's just in a hospital and he's
Yeah.
fine. It's like, oh, okay, it was very
Yeah.
very strange. Yeah,
To me, like that made sense if it was Ray, who was, because like he doesn't want to actually kill his friends. He just wants to like prove a point to them. Then again, they murdered the other guy, Max, who was like,
completely
they really didn't
unconnected
even
to the.
try. They didn't even fucking try to give like a red herring excuse for him to like. I guess he saw the the deed being done, and you could be like, oh, maybe he knew, but
So
like
Ben saw him.
he
So
died so
Ben saw him too.
yeah. Yeah, I guess so. He's just like, even though he didn't even get out of the car, they were just like talking to him like in the car and everything, and he was like, yeah, whatever, I don't know. I have no idea why he needed to die. I guess he just is a serial killer in general. He's not like
Yeah,
it's not even about
it's
revenge,
like,
other than you hit me and that hurt
yeah,
really badly, so I'm now gonna kill you.
yeah,
Like it's just such a fucking bad
I know,
motivation for
and
a slasher villain.
like he had already just killed that guy because he killed his daughter. Like that sounds just like an
Mm-hmm.
isolated revenge that he would do and not go on a slasher murder spree. It's weird.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't know. Think about like Jason, where it's like even him, like kind of one of the more stereotypical, like this is a nothing character, or whatever. At least he is acting out his hatred towards, like, like in his mom in the first movie, like it's the hatred towards the people that ended up killing him, and then like from that point on, you could see it as like, oh, these are people, even if they're not literally the people that killed me or my mom, they are like that. I see them as that because of his psychosis.
even if he has to go to New
So like
York
that makes sense.
to get him.
Sure. That's a Jason in Hell. Is that the
Jason Goes to Hell,
that movie
the
or
final
just
Friday,
yeah
or Jason Takes
yeah
Manhattan,
yeah.
just like the
So that's
Muppets.
is that a different? Are those two different
Yeah.
movies?
So
Like Jason
Jason
going to
Jason
Manhattan
Takes
or
Manhattan
Jason
is
going to Hell?
Manhattan is part eight.
Is it called that? Is
Yes,
that like the Muppets?
Friday the 13th part eight. Jason Takes Manhattan is what it's called.
That is a great Muppet movie, by the way. Just
Oh, I know.
throwing it out there. It's a good,
So
very good Muppet
that's
movie.
part eight, and part nine is Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday, which is the worst one,
Right.
the absolute worst one.
Yeah. Yeah. It's. I don't remember it very well, so.
That's the one where they kill Jason in the first like 15 minutes, and then he spends the movie possessing people. And there's like,
Yeah, I do remember that.
there's like,
Actually,
oh,
yeah.
there's Jason is now going after his family like Michael Myers, and there's the Voorhees house, and there's a magic dagger, and there's a
God.
Jason equivalent to Dr. Loomis. It's lame. It's
will
shit.
we talk about these movies at some point? Maybe, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'd like to.
But
At some point, yeah.
yeah,
It was just Friday
I'd
the
be
13th
interested.
that we were recording.
Yeah. hmm that is true.
Yeah, we
But
can watch like some of them, not all of them.
that's, yeah. I don't know if I want to watch all. of the fucking Friday the 13th movies. I mean, one, I feel like we do kind of need to,
The
like, because that is so
the
unique,
the
but I don't
first,
know.
I would say, to cut it off at six. Like the first six are fair game.
Uh huh.
Um,
Yeah, we're not gonna do like Jason X or
no,
Freddy versus Jason.
both those movies suck in my opinion.
Yeah, I. You know what? I actually do agree in the sense that those are some of those things where people are like, "This movie's so fucking funny" or whatever. Like it's like a camp masterpiece. Like Batman and Robin or whatever is another one
No,
of those, and I'm like, no,
I
it is just bad.
yeah, no, I
Like,
recently went back and rewatched Jason X because I remember liking it when I was little. Um, it
mm.
felt like I was watching Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, Wyatt. It was.
They say it's very, very big, like Godzilla Final Wars vibes,
Mhm.
where it's just like this just seems like it was created to be like a dumb like hype moments in aura kind of thing, and there's no real
Yeah, no,
like story to
it,
it.
the set's fully. It's just like the Terra Venture, like the rooms.
Yeah, yeah, good.
Oh, we're so off
But
topic right now.
man, yeah, exactly. We keep getting off topic to the point where it's like we have covered a good amount
Yeah,
of ground with this movie,
there's
even
there's
though
a couple
we
more scenes we got to
yeah
get to. I would say.
yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
let's see. So there's a moment where oh my God, how did I just blank on Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Uh-huh. Yeah, Buffy the
Yeah.
Vampire Slayer. Yeah. My parents' dog Buffy
Hmm.
was named after Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Sarah
My
Michelle
mom's a
Gellar.
big fan.
That's her name.
Yeah,
What?
Sarah Michelle Gellar. Unfortunately, Buffy passed away last year.
No.
She was 15 years old, so she was a pretty old dog. But rest in beast, Buffy.
Yes, I will always cherish
Uh,
the awkward pictures that you took of her.
yeah.
Um, yeah. So she wakes up in bed and the killer has cut her hair, and it's clearly like a wig that they fucked with. It's not like her real hair. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, she's able to fix it pretty nicely though. She gives herself like a shoulder length
yeah.
bob. It's yeah.
Hmm.
So they have this whole plan to like use her as bait. Um, oh, there's a bit. This also doesn't make any sense with like what are Ben's abilities. He gets he gets Max's body and a bunch of crabs and puts it in the trunk of Julie's car. Um,
Yeah.
and then he,
They're gone for like 15 minutes and
yeah,
like
she
whatever, like 5-10 minutes, and then they come back and it's completely clean
how did he
in
know where
there.
she would stop the car and get out and find it?
Yeah,
How did like cause
I
it
don't.
takes her a while to notice that she's going to somebody's house. She gets out,
Hmm.
finds the body, closes it, and then th- just talking to her friends for like a few minutes, comes back and they open it, and the trunk is completely empty. They're with tools on the bottom, perfectly dry.
Uh huh. Uh huh. No smell, even though there was a dead body and sea animals in there.
Hmm.
Uh, so they should have been like, wow, this smells really bad. And they weren't even like near a wharf or something. I will say this, the setting I really
Oh
like
yeah.
of this movie,
Hmm.
just because it's like a fishing town and everything. And
Hmm.
there's like a lot of like really cool rustic settings and like areas that they go to.
There's an old fashioned department store, which I really like that set. Well,
Yeah, I love
I
that. I
guess
love the
that'd be
like,
a real building because they just filmed this in a town.
mhm. Yeah, and I like the crank elevator. That's cool.
Hmm.
The fucking boat at the end. I was like, damn, how elaborate
That
is
boat is like a
a like
TARDIS.
fishing boat?
It's huge.
Yeah, like there's like how many different rooms and like levels are there
There's two
to
separate
this
rooms
boat?
and then a passageway that's like on the bottom of the boat that you can still walk on somehow. And
Hmm.
then there's a third room that's all full of ice, I guess.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
real quick, right after they find the body in the trunk, Julie has a moment where she goes out in the middle of the street, puts her arms to her sides, and like is screaming, "What are you waiting for?" and spins around in a circle.
Hmm.
That's the scene that was directed by a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
He specifically told her, "I want you to stick your arms out and spin around and yell it." And they all thought that's the dumbest fucking idea ever. But then they filmed it and they were like, "Oh, that's actually one of the more interesting shots in our movie."
Yeah, that's what he's a
Hmm.
visionary.
Some random kid
Yeah,
from
I
North
do think it
Carolina.
is. I do think it was a very weird scene in the sense that it's like the people in the neighborhood are like, "What the fuck is this lady
Hmm.
yelling about?" I guess I'm always self conscious about that sometimes in movies, where I'm like, "What are the other people that are around them thinking?" Of There's a lot of weird shots in this movie. Actually, now that I say that, of Helen, her sister, being like suspiciously looking at them as they're talking about,
Hmm.
they're like, I got this letter, holy shit. um and it's like, what is that? Is she just, why did they like linger on her so long, and her like keeps on looking back and being like,
Eh,
I guess she's like curious what they're talking about, but I just don't know why they decided to like linger on that,
she's just
if they're
mean
like
for
maybe
no
implying.
reason, really.
Yeah, but it makes it seem like she kind of knows what they're talking about or is suspicious, and she never asks
Hmm.
or wonders about it at any point, like throughout the whole movie. So yeah.
That's a character that I'm pretty sure was changed in the book because I think I read probably on TV tropes that
Mhm.
the sister had like a much more fleshed out relationship with Helen in the book. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. She seems like she was a significant character, like, but we barely got to see anything from her.
Hmm.
So just like with Max, where it's like, what is this dude's deal?
Hmm.
And then he just dies fucking 15 minutes into the movie or whatever. So it's just
But
like, okay.
yeah, so we're in the home stretch. So
Uh huh. Mm-hmm.
Helen is at the pageant. Barry gets killed up on the balcony, which is another scene that
Yeah.
Scary Movie did. It's the exact
Mm-hmm.
same framing and setup, but they think that it's her performance and the talent portion of the pageant. So she wins, and
Yeah.
they crown her, and she's like, "Oh fuck Barry," and she just ignores it.
Yeah. That's good.
But
I do think, yeah, that like that scene, like I guess he used the hook to like drag him out of there, but like it feels
leaves
like it
no
was
blood at all.
a, yeah, they show a little bit of blood on the like banister to be like, see, what did happen, and it isn't just delusion. That's another thing. They also do try to like lean into like, are they delusional? And they're just like they're letting the guilt get to them. And but I feel like they don't lean into that enough. It's not quite
Yeah,
the same as like the Telltale Heart, the Edgar Allan Poe story, where it's like, oh, clearly the heart isn't literally beating and he can't hear it because the person's dead. Like the heart is not beating,
hmm,
but he hears it because it's his own guilt, ringing through him, and he knows, and he's hyper focusing on it. So it's like those elements are there, but I feel like they don't lean into that enough. And again, like I said, they sort of don't put you into this like unreality of a killer story
hmm.
to the point where I don't know. It did, like I never really like bought into it as a slasher, like you said.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel like that same
Ex-
type of movie.
Except
And
for
the
oh, well, go
mhm.
ahead, but except for
Yeah, the chase
yeah,
at the
that's the
end.
scene that we're at with Helen. Uh,
Mhm.
Probably the best scene in the movie, like for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, yeah. It's like it's way better than the climax, which we'll talk about as
for
far as
sure.
like being a compelling horror thing.
Mhm.
Um,
It's the only time the
but
fisherman
that the
is threatening or imposing at all.
yeah, and like the classic like can't get the door open in time. Sister just slowly walking over, and she's like, Jesus Christ, open the fucking door, like that, which is pretty funny. Uh, you know, and it is very tense, and yeah, there is like some genuinely like tense and horrific moments and some good jump scares
Mhm.
during that whole
Yeah, and
scene.
it's
It
a cool
actually did make me
location.
it made me be like, oh man, this movie is like really close to the end. And then I checked the time and I was like, why is there 20 minutes left of the movie?
Hmm.
Like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, in between, so it's again, it's one of those like, oh man, she was like so close to safety, but if she didn't stop and turn around at the last moment in that fucking alley, she would have
Mm-hmm.
survived. But no, she gets killed off. We hardly see it at all because there's flashing lights and there's not like it's like a wide angle. Um, yeah, and then they kind of rush to the ending for sure because there's like a half-hearted, limp attempt at a twist where Julie realizes that the name of Ray's boat is Billy Blue, which is the same name as
Mm-hmm.
some guy that visited the sister like twice or something.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
and then they immediately
So
dash
we
it because uh, Ben Willis just knocks Ray out, and she's like, "Oh, thank you," and she gets on his boat, and we've arrived at the lamest ending.
mm-hmm. It was like Peter Pan or something where they're having like a fight on the boat and they're like going up and down. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Like the
Mhm.
like I get
It was
it.
like Home Alone.
Yeah. It was just like it didn't and like that there's like the epic orchestra. It felt like the wrong fucking movie. Like there was no tension
Mhm.
really. It was just like an action scene that was like going on and like fighting this guy
Julie's
who
completely useless during the last act of this movie,
mhm.
which is a bummer.
Yeah, and the guy Ben is just like such a normal guy that's just a swinging a hook around. Like that's his whole
He's dressed like
fucking
Stan's
thing.
dad from South Park. He's like not scary at
Yeah,
all.
I was genuinely like, and this is obviously it's more of a horror movie than it is strictly action. But like something like Terminator, I feel like has a like kind of an explosive ending that still feels very tense and scary.
Mhm.
And they even have like a villain that's like it just will not die, and you're just like so exhausted, you just want it to die, and you just want
Yeah,
the problem to be over.
Ray gets thrown off the
Uh,
boat like 4 times and climbs back on
yeah,
fucking netting.
yeah, that it's just. And there's the I completely forgot that I was watching a horror movie,
Hmm.
and until she's like digging through the ice and finds the corpses of her friends, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, this
Hmm.
is that he murdered them. So you know,
Yeah, so the way
that,
that he's defeated is like I think maybe one of the dumbest like defeats of a slasher villain I've ever seen. He's like about to do
mm-hmm.
the final swing and his hand gets caught on some ropes and Ray hits the
Yeah.
lever that activates the raise that one rope, that function on the boat.
Yeah.
Uh, it it severs his hand and he falls into the ocean and immediately you're like, oh god, we're not gonna there's no body,
Yeah.
um yeah,
So,
in my
and he even says, like, I do like the line where he's like, when you kill somebody, make sure they're actually dead. But again, like, this character is just like, I just don't feel any fear from him,
Mhm.
nor do I feel any sympathy for him, which I feel like, okay, if they kind of fail at making this a horror movie and just more of a tense, like, murder mystery and like a whodunit, then I think that it's fine if the villain isn't threatening or like scary in that way, or maybe he has like moments where he is, but when it's like in the light and we know who he is, he's not scary. If there's some element of like sympathy for him, but it's not like they killed his daughter. It's the guy
yeah,
that at the beginning of the movie that we see that
they just
killed
ran him
his
over on
daughter in an
accident. Yeah.
accident, and then he killed that guy, and then as is on his way back from murdering, he gets hit, and he's like, that really hurt. So now I gotta hunt these people down next year and kill them all on July 4th
Hmm.
specifically.
I
So
can't follow them
yeah,
to their college and murder them for some reason. I have to wait till all four of them come
yeah,
back on summer break.
yep, and try to be like,
He
okay,
he's
if I kill them all in these different places, maybe the murder, like they can't trace it back to me.
he's
I also
probably
don't know how.
seeing Ray because Ray and Helen are still living in town, so he's probably seeing them every fucking day if he goes to the department store or on the
Hmm,
docks.
yeah, I mean Ray works
Yeah, Ray
on the
works there.
docks,
Hmm.
so like they, so the entire time it's like I'm gonna kill that guy next year, even though he's the one who ran me over. I'm just gonna bide my time. So I don't know. It's just a very disappointing twist,
Hmm.
and like a very kind of weak climax to a movie that I, like overall thought like I enjoyed, but I feel like it kind of like by the end I was just like, okay, sure, it just sort of fizzled out in the final
So I
that like final set piece.
so I take it that your pick is not going to be I still know what you did last summer with Jack Black wearing
No,
dreads. No, okay.
no, it's
Um,
it's not gonna be that. I will say that it does end on like a jump scare
yeah.
of, oh, the guy is back and he kills Jennifer Love Hewitt, which is like, okay,
Well,
that's good because I did like it's or presumably kills her. I have no idea if he actually
They
does.
reveal that that's
But
a dream. They retcon it in the second one.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, well, I was going to
Sorry.
say that that movie or that ending is nice because the actual like the wrap up is so stupid that I felt like that it was nice to be like, okay, they kind of cut some of the treacle by having that happen.
Mm-hmm.
And again, and that that reminds me of like other movies we talked about, like Terrifier and stuff, where it feels like there's no possible way that this guy who's dead could come back, and then like something happens
Mm-hmm.
and he's back. And it just like is like, fuck, damn it, I can't believe it. But I mean, with that, it was just like, okay, if he didn't die when you hit him with a car and dumped his body, why the fuck did you think that him just falling safely into the lake, or the ocean or whatever, like, why would that kill him?
I know.
You're like not that far from the shore, so I don't know. Like I hate being too cinema sinsy, like dinging the logic of this movie too badly, but like
I mean,
I guess it does kind of
yep.
suck,
Yeah.
right?
I mean,
Like,
but
yeah.
a well-crafted mystery, your mind shouldn't want to do that. So I think I mean, it's the
Yeah.
problem of it's an interesting setup. It's not a horrible movie,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I guess I'll see the new one when it comes out. But like the idea of
Sure.
bringing back Ray and Julie as like legacy characters is kind of a joke to me at this point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking at the apparently it did not do super well review wise.
Hmm.
So it actually was kind of considered very like mediocre. Fucking Roger Ebert gave it 1 star.
Oh wow.
So that's the best shot in this movie in this film is the first one. Not a good sign. That was part of his review, so that's good.
Oh, the big like
Um,
swooping crane shot over the coastline. Yeah, that was a good shot.
yeah, that is cool. Yeah, just like that scene of the guy on the rocks,
Hmm.
and like he's looking at the pendant and everything. Like that is a cool moody set piece, and like I said, the beginning of the movie is pretty good, like when they're dealing with the body, and the scene in the department store is really good. And it's just like a lot of the connective tissue is just kind of weak, and by the end it is just one of those twists, I feel, that kind of like ripples throughout the movie and makes it much worse.
Hmm.
Just because like on repeat viewings you're like, okay, I know it's just some fucking guy that is
There's
killing
not going to
them, and
be any more
I
repeat
guess,
viewings of this movie.
yeah. Well, yeah, I probably am not gonna ever watch this movie again, but who knows. But all right, I think that's it for this movie.
Can't believe we
So
got an hour out of this movie.
yeah, that is surprising. I guess we went on enough tangents to
Yeah, fair.
buff the time of this. But next movie, I have picked this, weeks ago. Whenever when we kept on putting this off.
All right.
I think we're going to return to another J horror movie. I think we do Ju-on, the original Ju-on the Curse,
Okay.
not the theatrical one that became The Grudge, which is Ju-on the Grudge. So the original like DVD movie, I believe you can find it on YouTube. If not, then I'll try to see if I can find a link. Maybe it's on like Nya or something, because it's a
Mhm.
Japanese thing subtitled.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, because there's so many of
yeah, want to
those.
watch?
I would need you to point me in the right direction.
Yes, I had to be very specific which one it
Hmm.
is. Like the first one, but also not like the first like short film where they introduce like the ghost boy and everything. Like the first like real movie that they made before they
Okay.
made like a theatrical movie. Like talking about that because that's kind of like where that series began. So yeah, and we did Ring pretty early on, so I feel like we're long due to return to another J horror movie.
I thought you were going to say audition,
So-
to be honest.
Oh, Audition is really good. Maybe we should do Audition at some point, because that is such a good movie.
All right. Well,
Have you seen Audition?
when I was a teenager.
Or oh, okay, oh, yeah, that's a good time to see it. But anyway, Where can we find you, Cody?
You can find me here on my YouTube channel, Cody J. Briscoe. You can find me on Twitter. My name on there is Gay Boomhauer. And if you look that same name up on IMDb, you can see all of the film projects I've been in.
Cool. You can go on Twitter, Blue Sky. Find me as Wasp Ranger, WACP Ranger. Mostly stream consciousness stuff, but I do post about podcasts I'm doing or videos I'm in. So get on that. Who knows? Maybe Metroid Prime 4 will have been. Maybe we have a release date at this point, so maybe I'm posting about that and being a complete lunatic and everything. Excuse me, if you want to go to my Patreon, if you want to check out other stuff that I'm doing, It's Only Magic is the name of the Patreon, also the name of my YouTube channel. It's cartoon reviews, and we do a podcast called Cartoon Buffoons. Me and Morgan, who is our friend, going through every Cartoon Network show and reviewing them. So if you want this kind of critical eye applied to shit like Squirrel Boy, then go listen to that. So there you go. But all right, thank you so much for listening. Join us next time. We'll talk about Ju-On, the Curse. See you there.
Peace out.